All right, here we go. Back in Bold, part 5 with Tommy Farr. We're creating a Metaverse business, the first hotel in Sandbox. It's exciting. Today we got the COO of Metaverse Hospitality. Tommy, introduce your new star here.
Yeah, I'm glad we can finally announce one of our biggest team members here, Garcia, coming in as our Chief Operating Officer. Just because she does a little bit of everything. Me and Lise go way back to the consulting gig I've mentioned a few times on this job, where we literally had the most amazing job in the world, where we traveled the world consulting with hotels and dropping our little every touch on every hotel we hit, and that's when I first got to know Lise and her drive and her work ethic, and really got to see her in action of the hotel industry. And kind of that was the start of our working relationship. We've kept in touch since then, and I literally just brought this Metaverse hospitality idea to her one day because I needed someone like her that's a go-getter. She gets shit done. She gets it done well. So that was a big factor of bringing Lisa on the team. But she also has an extremely knowledgeable background in marketing. That's something that we definitely need the help with. Everything from social media to partnerships. Lisa has a very, very entrepreneurial mind, and she's an amazing addition to the team that's going to help out in so many more ways than just marketing, because first off, she knows hotels, she knows the consulting industry, and she sees the vision of Metaverse hospitality. So it was literally as soon as I brought it up to her, she was ecstatic about it, and I got a yes right away. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good fit. Let's get this going. And we've slowly getting to where we need to be, and it's about time to ramp up. So yeah, welcome, Lise. Glad to have you on the team, and maybe tell us why you think Metaverse hospitality is the future of hospitality.
Hold on. I got an icebreaker here. I checked out her Instagram. She's a content creator. So here we go. Here's your marketing you're going to get, Tommy.
She was like, oh my God, I could never wear that. And I was like, let me show you how to.
Abracadabra, these bitches know I got answers the way I pose for the
Instagram there.
The real
has
maker.
A few talents.
Reels are so easy, guys.
We're not the social media guys, all right?
Hey, I've been making good reels. I know what you're talking about, Tommy. You've been liking them. I see you liking those.
Yeah, there's a few. At least the pro, though.
All right, so Lise, what's your story?
Oh my God, what's my story? Yeah, so I come from I guess a mixed background. I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades, to be honest. For many years, I've already been in the hospitality industry, e-commerce industry, internet, just in the internet marketing industry. It's my passion.
So you took advantage of Web2, right? Would you say so? And now it's time to take advantage of Web3, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we saw a big change in Web2 where, social media was led by user-generated content. So a lot of brands had to change and start conversing with their customers, right? Because before it used to be like, we're marketing to you here. Here's a billboard and a sign, and you consume it, and we sell it. And yeah, Web2 changed that. It became a conversation with people that were talking to brands now, and brands sending out their messages, right? So now with as pertains to the Metaverse, now we have an internet that's deeply immersive, and participatory. So now people are not just conversing with their customers, they're actually interacting with their customers and creating virtual experiences and environments that are not exactly under their control, right?
Right. Yeah, we still got a little ways to go with everything ahead of us, but I think the main point is that we see the future and see where it will be in a few years, and just being a part of that building to get to where we need to be is, that's why the hospitality industry is going to change soon, and that's why we want to be the first ones to be a part of that Web3 revolution.
So tell me, what's the difference between Web2 marketing and Web3 marketing?
Oh, I just Well, Web 2 is user generated content, right? So the brands are talking to their customers. It's different from traditional marketing where we give you like a billboard or a sign or a commercial. It's one way. I deliver marketing to you, and if you like it, you come and buy or purchase or become a customer, right? With Web 2, it's user generated content. So the brand almost had to become the influencer. The brand is talking to the customer now. The brand is becoming more transparent. It has more messaging. It's not just here I am, come see me, but they have to have a message to deliver to the customer and also count on their customers to deliver their message. Versus Web3, now we're going into something more immersive. So now, for example, something we can use a hotel, for example, right? Marriott version 1.0, Marriott will give you a commercial and you can do your homework. You can go online. You can check out if you want to go to that Marriott or not, right? With Web 2, Marriott brings people to their hotel and asks them to create content. So now you're seeing an advertisement in a different form. You're not seeing it from Marriott. You're seeing it from Tommy. You're seeing it from Lise. You're getting different perspectives. And those different perspectives are actually assisting in the customer journey. So whether they want to buy something or not. Now we're going into something more immersive. Will you be able to go to the Marriott in the metaverse? Now you can go by yourself. Now you can go check out the Marriott yourself and see whether you like it, see what it looks like. So it's absolutely, yeah, it's completely different. But as you can see, we're definitely evolving. This is a great opportunity for marketing.
Who do you
I think
think's
to
done
go
it
off
best?
that I'm going to give a quick example off of so we can picture that. So think of like a reservation system. Before, maybe on Instagram, Marriott posts, call 1-800-Marriott to talk to us about our reservations and book your trip to Cabo, versus going to their hotel in the metaverse where you can see your room in Cabo and experience the beach in Cabo and go to the pool in Cabo, all from the metaverse, all from their new Web3 experience versus Web 2. Here's what it is. You got to reach out to us to figure it out, what you really want. So I think that's just putting into a picture of a lot of things are going to be immersive, like Lisa's saying, in the aspect of you can see it, you can experience before you actually do.
Have you seen any good examples of this? Like, who is doing it best? Is Apple doing it? I mean, who is really on the frontier? And are there some examples of this?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we have a great example. Well, actually, I'm kind of biased. I'm a fashion influencer, so I'm going to go with Gucci. But actually, May last year, Gucci opened up a garden. They were actually on Roblox. So debatable. Some people like to say that Roblox is more game based, but it's also involved in the metaverse, right? So they had a virtual experience that complemented a real world installation. So if you were in the metaverse, you could experience their Italy installation through Roblox. So I think they did a great job doing that and having those users bringing that experience to those users in the Web3.
I think there's still obviously a ways to go. For example, something like Sandbox, where we're building our hotels. We cannot go in our hotel right now. It's just not out of the alpha, beta mode yet. We can build and that's about it. But during the future, like we're next to Nike and Artifact, which most likely will be a clothing store. You can literally go into the store and dress your avatar with, and there's going to be two sides of it, of course, hopefully, with your metaverse avatar. And then maybe you have a digital avatar of yourself with all your sizes. So you can shop both real world and metaverse. Digital fashion's obviously going to be huge, but you could literally say that about any industry. You can compare it to any industry, just like hotels. We want it to be immersive, so you can come into the lobby bar and hang out and talk with the bartender, just like any hotel. And I think we are slowly going to see that in every industry, but it's not there yet. Things like Roblox, things like Decentraland, they have some immersive experience, but it's just not there yet. We got a ways to go.
Okay, before we get there, Lise, how are you going to be doing this marketing for?
You just want to know my secrets. No, I'm kidding. Well, there's a lot of marketing is goal based, right? For those that may or may not know much about marketing, we follow KPIs. We have certain goals that we want to achieve. So if you're listening in and you're like, wow, that's great, Gucci, Nike, these are all stores, they have products to sell, they're going to go into the metaverse and they're just, show us their product. There's still other ways to market in the metaverse, and there's still profitable ways to market in the metaverse. For example, Vans is actually, they're a store, they're a brand, and they're actually approaching the metaverse with brand awareness. So their goal is not necessarily let's make more money by selling wearables or selling NFTs, but instead we're going to create a skate park in the metaverse, and we'll have our users come and hang out and interact with our skate park, and it'll be a branded Vans skate park. So you don't have to have something to sell necessarily, and this shows that you can have different marketing approaches. So it really depends on where we're going, right? This is very new. So, I mean, between Tommy and I, we're still actually trying to figure that out. We've done some research where we have two worlds that we're tracking right now. We have the hotel industry and we have the metaverse. So as we do this research, we're trying to align our brand, Metaverse Hospitality, align our brand messaging with something that speaks to hotels in the real life and what the metaverse is doing. So it's so new, and we're really trying to break that barrier and be the first ones to not just be, hey, we're a hotel in the metaverse, but we also are following main brands like Marriott and Hilton and seeing what they're doing in real life and how we can apply it to our social media strategy, to our presence in the metaverse. For example, we've now identified that we'd like to hold events. So before, it's like we just want to be the first hotel in the metaverse. It doesn't just turn into that, right? Because as the metaverse evolves, so do we. So our marketing strategy continuously evolves. So now we've identified, okay, so what do hotels in real life do? Hotels hold weddings. Hotels hold conventions. Hotels may hold, gatherings, meetings, yoga classes, all sorts of things, right? So we wanted to translate that into metaverse. So when you say like, what is our marketing strategy? Yeah, it's everywhere, but in a good way.
Yeah.
But it really is goal-based, right?
I'll tell you a great example of this, and it was like maybe a year and a half ago, was when Fortnite did the Travis Scott concert in the game.
Yep.
I think that was kind of on the forefront, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. That was what, 2019? So that was really early. And then that speaks about, when to get in. So for example, some people that may be listening in thinking, I want to get into the metaverse, I'm just going to jump in and make a bunch of money, right? Yeah, that's great and all. But look at Facebook. Facebook is more reactive. So they always want to be the leader, right? They want to lead the way, but they're reactive. So what they did was introduce the idea of the metaverse. It's almost like they gave us all permission. Mark basically said, hey, I'm going to be the new meta, and the metaverse is real. This is going to be a thing. And everybody's like, wow, let's do it. Right? So you don't necessarily have to be the pioneer. You can introduce the idea and then watch what happens. So now as they're watching what happens, they're going to improve that. And obviously maybe even give us a little bit more accessibility, because one big issue that we're facing in the metaverse is that it's a rich man's game right now. So a lot of people are looking into information, how to make money, how to build a business, and a plot of land right now in an unknown metaverse starts at $10,000. So right now it's not accessible. So that's what I'm counting on. I'm counting on the fact that Facebook or Meta will actually have that accessibility for the masses, and that's really where we'll get started. So we're establishing a presence right now, but right now you can identify to be the leader, but you don't have to be reactive. You can still, you don't have to be proactive. You can be reactive and observe what happens so that you can improve the game.
Lise, what exactly were you doing before you made this jump? And why did you decide to make this pretty risky jump?
Sure. I was a hospitality consultant, a hotel consultant. I was traveling pretty much all around the world, minus Europe and Asia, and looking at hotels. That's all I was doing, was auditing hotels, auditing the customer experience, auditing processes, procedures, anything from cleanliness to standards to how the food tastes. I mean, I used to joke about it and say it's a glorified secret shopper, but it's not a lavish job at all. So I think it gave me a really, really good advantage in the sense that I saw many hotels, I saw many operations, I met with many, many CEOs, general managers, operation managers, and I was always able to bring in new insight. Always, no matter where I went. It could have been the 5-star hotel that had no complaints. I was always able to bring in new insight. So when Tommy called me and he's like, "Hey, do you want to be a part of this?" Yeah, of course I want to be a part of this. This is new. There are no rules and regulations. So when you're looking for a team or when you're looking for people to work with, you really want to work with open-minded people that can that either have the skills or can build the skills. Because that's really where the key is, right? To be able to see the opportunities. So that's what I was doing before. I was just auditing hotels, but I mean, this is my jam. You know, I love
And
this.
going off that with the auditing hotels, one of the things you touched on is seeing those 5-star hotels, seeing those, established hotels change a little bit of their operations because of a report you wrote. It's pretty dang cool. Just because you're there for a night and you see a little bit something that maybe they haven't noticed in a few years, and then the next visit, it's completely different because of that report. I see that being on our end of the metaverse. We may not be able to compete with Marriott, may not be able to compete with Hilton and the Hyatts of the world, but we definitely have something to offer when they come to us for support. Whether it's where we've taken off as a boutique hotel, or we just know the Web3 side of it better than everybody else because we've been in it for longer. It's definitely going to evolve as we go. But there's always going to be something to offer to the bigger players. We are going to be established and be that person that you can trust and go to.
Yeah, because Tommy, we were talking before this about how the end goal is to unite this with the real world and have your own little boutique hotels around the world and connect it with the metaverse, correct?
Yeah, exactly. It's a long game. Like we may not be the Marriott of the world, but we're gonna do really, really well at what we decide to as a company, and that's gonna evolve. We may find our niche within boutique hotels in Brazil. We may find our niche within the sandbox only, but most likely, yeah, it's gonna evolve as we go, and we're gonna be there to support anybody and everybody when it comes to hospitality and Web3 as we go.
So, Lise, what is the average day of a COO of metaverse business today? Now, what are you up to?
Lots of homework.
Yeah.
I think I've taken it upon myself to try and know it all. This is there's a gap in the marketplace right now, and so something I didn't mention, probably a little relevant now, but I've worked a lot with e-commerce and growing brands. This is pretty similar. This is very, very, very similar. When you grow a brand, you have to do a business plan, a lot of competitor research. So we have a few people that are in charge of the metaverse. I want to be that link. I want to be the person that knows what's going on in both places, so that when we have an opportunity, when we're looking for partnerships, when we're looking for people to add to the team, I know exactly what we're looking for. So that's really what I'm doing. Like, I'm just doing a lot of homework.
She's a jack of all trades.
Right.
She's helping us out a lot in all aspects, and because it's tough with homework right now. It's tough with research because there's just not much of it. You gotta figure it out on your own. You gotta have that mindset that you're gonna make it happen no matter what. Even if you can't find something to back up your plan, just continue to learn, continue to evolve, and that's why Lise and that's why Morgan and that's why me are a part of the team, because they have that mindset and to move forward, to keep going, keep finding more information.
Well, it changes every day, don't it, in this world?
Exactly. There's so much, and there's so much that we miss too. We try to right now stick our research to hospitality, of course, but we're missing so much else in the NFT game. Then, there's so many other projects that are ballooning that have nothing to do with hospitality. We can obviously learn something from, but there's just so much happening that it's tough to keep up with everything. Yeah.
Hey, Lise, have you found any competitors yet?
Oh, well, I mean, Marriott bought land already. Marriott's already bought land. They're not, like Tommy said, they don't have, the sandbox isn't fully developed yet. So we're all kind of in the waiting game, right? But yeah, they're already in. And that's, Tommy and I had this conversation. I was very, very honest with him, and I said, listen, there's going to be big players that are doing this. They've been doing this. This is their industry. They have unlimited funds. They're not playing any games, and a presence in the sandbox is just another checklist, right? They have a checklist. Hey, add a hotel in the sandbox. Great. That is nothing for them, right? So that's why it's so important to watch and innovate. That's why it's so important to be ready to pivot. And that's why it's so important to know that when you have certain goals that you want to achieve, you might have to put those goals on the back burner. And when you're pivoting, understand why you're doing it. So yeah, I mean, absolutely. And Marriott's not going to be, they're the first, but for the first, right? We're the first, but they're the first big brand, but they're not going to be the last. So in that sense, I was telling Tommy, like, we are building just like any other company, right? When you build in the metaverse, if you are real, you build to sell. You build to grow and to sell. That's really how, like, a good exit is really how you accomplish your goals, right? That's how you can say, all right, it got done. So that's why when we're talking about the NFTs, for example, we're looking at designing NFTs, and a topic came up. How do we build these NFTs? And this can go for anybody listening in, right? If you're looking to build an NFT, why would I create something personal if I am not a public figure or I am not planning to brand myself? Why not create something for the masses? Why not create something that as it sells and as it grows, you can have a solid exit and just do it again?
Okay, well, we have a Bored Ape Yacht guy here. He's been in it for a minute. What do you think they did so well to become so popular, at least?
Branding, absolutely. So one thing that the Bored Ape Yacht Club has done that I commend them, and I'm like, so, they ensured that they had a presence in every platform. All right. So upon our research, I noticed that Bored Ape Yacht Club was one of the few that has a presence in every single social media platform, including those platforms that they have no business in. For example, YouTube. So they did branding so well that they grew followings in platforms that they had no business in. So if you go to their YouTube, they created a lo-fi radio. That's going to bring people in that may or may not know about the metaverse. That's going to bring people in that may or may not be Bored Ape Yacht Club fans, but they're actually brought in anyway, right? So you go to YouTube, you see hundreds and thousands and millions of views, but that's already brand awareness. That is a form of marketing. Not only that, but they haven't.
Wait, hold on, time out. The lo-fi, like that chill music, they just made a random one.
That's what they did. That's what they did.
Yeah, they released that pretty early too, and it was just like a hangout. Listen to our music, come in the Discord. It was just a vibe. That's all it was.
Just to go, and that's the thing. It's creating brand awareness. That's something that they understand. That a lot of people that are starting the metaverse are either stuck in the metaverse still, or they're stuck in the real world and not knowing how to apply themselves in the metaverse, right? So they don't care. They started a lo-fi radio and they're bringing in those subscribers and those views. What happens when you hit description and box? It takes you to Discord. It takes you to their website. It starts the customer journey, right? So they've created a funnel through all of these social media presences. On top of, they are one of the few, if not the only now, that are in market now. So Bored Ape has collaborations. They're doing super plastic collaborations, which they're doing toys. They're doing games. They're doing Ape Fest. So that's what they've done right, is that they've taken this brand and they've basically made a decision. Okay, we're going to go for brand awareness. Even if we think it doesn't benefit us, let's just do it. Sure, let's do the toys. Sure, let's do the YouTube. Sure, let's do the Instagram, even though most of our metaverse audience is not in Instagram. We know it's in Twitter, but that's what they did right. And then they have the celebrity backing, which of course everybody knows influencer marketing is as strong as ever.
Tommy, who's the brains behind all that?
The Bored Ape Yacht Club has 4 founders. They are anonymous, actually, which is kind of crazy. One of the few anonymous projects that is still very popular. Something lately in the NFT space is like, you should be doxxed. If you're creating a project and you want a sustainable project, you should be doxxed. But because the Bored Ape Yacht Club branded themselves, everywhere, made themselves trustworthy, they remained anonymous and completely took off. It's most likely for normal dudes from Florida. You know, that's the Bored Ape Yacht Club's coming to Miami. They have a lot of hints that they're from Miami, but no one knows, man. No one really knows the true background. They have fake names on Twitter. One guy's name's Gargamel. You know, it's Gordon Gorner. Like, it's not real names, but they are branding themselves correctly. That's literally what it comes down to.
Lise, give me some tips for bold perceptions. How do I get my brand awareness in this new day and age?
You know, I usually charge for audits.
This is the key to giving free value. Then I get value in return. I had you guys on the podcast.
Absolutely. Are
Hey.
you streaming your podcast on YouTube?
Not streaming, but we're starting to get on YouTube. I had it in the background. We have 50 videos up, but I think I got a big one coming. I'm doing a live stream with MBeam 10. He's a Dewey, and about 2 years ago, he went from 300 views a video for a year, almost 2 years. Now he's getting 1 million of video. So that one might do well.
So I'll give you a little tip, and this is I don't know. I'll give you a tip. Oh no, all of the listeners as well. Okay, so here's the
Alpha.
thing. Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to say it, but that's fine. Okay, for your podcast, one thing that you can do that'll help you greatly is to publish your streams on YouTube. I'll tell you why. Okay, I'll tell you why. There's actually good data here. YouTube is endless. All right. Some of our Instagram, Twitter, it's a one-time only experience, right? You post, people see, and it just goes away. And it gets drowned in more content. YouTube doesn't work like that. YouTube is SEO based, right? So because Google handles YouTube like a search engine, that means that your oldest and newest episodes will always have an advantage when people are looking for those topics. So if you can master, dominate, or hire someone to do your YouTube SEO, you will have a successful channel and podcast because you're driving people in an endless time. You'll never have content that will be trumped by other content, including your podcast. So your podcast comes up right now. Let's say I'm subscribed. I refresh my podcast list on Apple Podcasts. Someone else published at the same time as you, or maybe newer, you got bumped already. You know, I might not see you. With YouTube, it doesn't work that way. So you find your topic, master SEO, and then anytime anyone's looking for that specific topic, you will be first and you will be found, and your views will go up and your subscribers will go up, and you'll have a metaverse public that's already looking for information on YouTube, right? Because we know that YouTube is a learning platform. And you seem to be, teaching. You're teaching. You're really a teaching podcast, right? Whys, the whys, the hows, the whos. So that's your partner. That's your tip. That's your one tip. No more tips for you.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I've noticed that a couple of videos, like all of a sudden will get a random 300 views from like a month ago, just out of nowhere. So it's the second biggest search engine in the world, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's what I think people don't really understand. Like, you don't have to be a videographer. You don't even have to be video based. You can just literally publish us talking right now, and as long as you have the right keywords, this will live on forever. And then not only will you start monetizing your podcast, but you'll start monetizing your YouTube. So you have double income right there, just on one show.
Yeah, don't forget the Twitch and the Facebook lives. Yeah, you got to get them all live at the same time. I totally agree. Okay, what do we got going on this next week, 2 weeks in Metaverse hospitality? Tommy, we haven't spoke for about a week and a half. What's been going on? Have you been dying, or what's going on?
A lot, man. A lot. We got a lot on the books. We're wrapping up the arts first and foremost. We want to give details of that down so we can kind of tease it as we promote the hotels and the product. Obviously, we need to build the hotels. That's on the list as we ramp up to our launch date. But most excited about some hype videos, getting everybody else excited. We want to start bringing in the masses, start bringing in more people. We're going to drop a hype video. We're going to officially open the Discord to the public. If you do want in before that for a little manager role, hit me up on Twitter, by the way. But that's going to be officially open to the public. And yeah, we're going to start getting the masses in. We want to start promoting. We want to start marketing, start getting the word out there hard while we are working in the background. Web3 has obviously, just minting the NFT has so much technology behind it that we still have a lot of work to do. So Yeah, that's the plan. We working in the background while promoting in the front round.
Lise, what are you most excited about upcoming?
Partnerships. I'm money driven. I'm always thinking about the money. So yeah, I mean, we've established, right? We're doing weekly meetings. We've established some homework. We're giving everybody assignments. I'm really excited about just starting the brand awareness, ensuring that people know that we're here and getting some transparency out there. So we'll start establishing our videos, like intro videos. What is this about? I feel like we are in it, so we know what it means, but there's still so many people that don't know what it means, and I feel like a lot of us forget that. So for me, that's what I'm most passionate about, is just seeing it develop and seeing how we can bring accessibility to everyone, because that to me is key. Like, I feel like not enough people are talking about this. Everyone's like, this is the future. This is it. This is going to be what everybody's going to be doing. And I'm like, hey guys, how is that going to be what everyone's going to be doing if more than half of us don't even know what it is? How is it that what everyone's going to be doing if, like, do you know people that own a VR headset? Like, out of your 20 friends, how many people own an Oculus? Like, and that's just the beginning. That's like just the start. So that's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about showing and teaching via our company. So just showing and teaching how people can become involved and how they can understand the metaverse better and get motivated in becoming part of metaverse hospitality, because they get it, because they want to get it.
I think you'd be a good teacher, Lise. I'm kind of a bad student, so maybe you can't teach me too well, but we'll see. Maybe we'll meet in. You said you're going to Bali soon, or what's going on?
Yeah, Bali in October. Yeah. Well, have you learned anything today? Because that would be a great sign.
Yeah. No, it was good. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Tommy, what do we got next up for the next episode? You got another person you hired?
Yeah. Our community manager, Morgan. She's in charge of, the socials. She'll be the one you probably speak to, whether it's on Twitter, Discord. Once we start to ramp up the social, she's going to be in charge of that when it comes to interacting with the community, being active in the community. She's all about, building up the community, and that's why she's a big part of the team. And will, be on the podcast to discuss how we're going to be doing that next, I guess.
Wonderful. Awesome. We'll put all the links in the description. Check out Metaverse Hospitality. A lot of it goes down on the Twitter, right? That's where the most stuff is going on.
Yeah, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, main three. We'll be ramping out to others as well. But yeah, Twitter, Instagram, Discord.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Lise, great to meet you. Tommy, good to see you. And everyone, live bold.